All right, welcome to the daily market analysis for 24 May. What we're going to do tonight is go over the setups for this week. I did not do a webinar last night. It was my grandmother's birthday, and it took a lot longer to celebrate than I expected because she wanted to do a lot more than what we discussed. But it was her day, so I didn't want to leave early. But first pair we're going to go over is going to be actually, well, let me move this over. It's going to be EJ. So on the daytime frame, they've issued us a sun, right? Last week, Wednesday, TDI hit that top Bollinger Band. It's closed right above that market baseline. You see price action stopped above that 13 EMA, and they're coming back up. There's still some space in between the top Bollinger Band and TDI, so I'm expecting them to come up. Drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So here's our first leg, right? This is our reference for the reversal. You can see they've come back into the reversal range that I painted 2 weeks ago. TDI is on its way up to the market baseline now. I don't expect them to exceed this first leg right here, right? They gave us a peak, right? Second leg dropped, came back up, and I imagine they're going to stop here because if they come up here, they're going to release the trap volume that they have here and also here, all the trap traders. So we'll drop down to the 1-hour time frame. Again, first leg. Here's our second leg. TDI is right below that top Bollinger Band. What they could do tonight is continue up, retesting yesterday's high, right, and then drop to about mid-Asian, giving us another hit, and then dropping, or they could just come up to retest yesterday's high and then drop. All right, so that's what I'm expecting them to do on that. If they do that 3 vector out of the Asian range to the 25 pip box, it'll be essentially in the same spot as this one is, right? Just a little, maybe a little bit higher. All right, again, I don't foresee them coming way back up here because they're going to release that volume. All the ones that are praying that it comes back up to this point, right? We'll go over to EU. So on the day time frame, they've been consolidating now for going on 6 days. TDI is on its way up to the top Bollinger Band. It's crossed that red EMA on the RSI. Drop down to the 4-hour. We got 1, 2. Here's our third hit. This one is looking very, very promising tonight. You see TDI is hitting that market baseline now. No indicator quite yet, but that's all right. On the 4-hour time frame, they've given us a first and second leg M. First leg, second leg. Again, I don't foresee them coming back up to here. That's going to release some volume. The trap traders that are praying that it comes back up to this level so they could break even. So I don't expect them to do that 3 vector up to the 25 pip box. You see TDI is already right below that top Bollinger Band here. So this one could be making its move very soon. All right, so everything looks good on the 1-hour. We got an indicator now on the 15-minute time frame. TDI is blown out of the top Bollinger Band. So we're just waiting for that basically the railroad track for them to close flush and close down, and we'll see how they behave at that 13 EMA. Let me see if we got any news coming up for the euro or the US dollar. And if you are wondering what app I use for the news releases, it's called My FX Book. It's free. So we do have Amber News, which is not major, but it's big enough to impact the market, right? The market maker uses the news releases to manipulate and move the market in his favor. A lot of the retail traders think that big news always means negative or positive. No, it just all falls in line with the market maker method. So in about 4 hours is when we could expect that euro pair to shift, and then we got U.S. news tomorrow. So we'll see what the damage is tomorrow morning, and then prep for that next move on EU. But as of right now, the bias is short. All right, moving on to CJ on the day time frame. It shifted that market a little bit, as you can see, making its way back into that reversal range. They issued us a sun last week, actually 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week. TDI is above that market baseline, basically consolidating. When it came down and hit that 13 EMA, it's just been riding right above that. We'll drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So there's our peak formation, second leg, and then consolidation. TDI is hitting that market baseline now. The bias, directional bias, is short, right? I feel since they are hitting that market baseline, this could be the peak. So the reference for tonight's reversal will be at this line, this candle right here, this wick, the top of that. We'll drop down to the 1-hour time frame. You can see that consolidation a lot better. That sideways movement. They've hit the 200 EMA about 3 times now. They're on their way back down. We'll see how they behave at that 50. I'm expecting them to stop here about this area, come back up, retest, and then continue down. You see TDI is hitting that market baseline now. So again, that 50 coming down, pinning that or railroad tracking on that, and then coming back up tonight before taking off. All right, EA. So EA, the day time frame, TDI is still outside of the top Bollinger Band, and that moon is still valid. It's still holding. Drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Here we are, first leg. Just waiting for that second leg. They are inside that reversal range that I painted about a week ago. TDI is making his way up to the market baseline now. Right, so once it gets up to this range, we'll drop down to the 1 hour. But we're going to give it some time right now to let it run its course and see how it behaves up here at this high. Let me set this so it stays. All right, moving on to NJ. So NJ has come down to the 50 EMA on its way back up, not to retest as high, right? They've completed the level. So level 1, level 2, level 3, right? So on its way up about here is where we're going to put the reference point for the reversal. We'll drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Oh, they might not even make it. I forgot that when I was looking at it earlier. So on the 4-hour time frame, they're at 50 EMA now, right? TDI is right below that. It's right in between the top Bollinger Band and that mid-level line. And we have a star now on the 4-hour time frame. They could continue to rise, right? But I don't expect them to go higher than this wick right here, right at the bottom of this level. So they did 1, 2, 3 levels of drop, right? Retested, hit it a third time, 1 and 2. So all this consolidation, and they reversed that level 2, right? So this was our AFP, right, away from peak, and then this is basically going to complete level 3. So once they come back up and not retest, but once they come back up and reset, then they'll complete level 3, and then we'll start looking for long positions again. All right, any questions on that? I know that was pretty confusing. Basically, this is the outside structure. We got 1, 2, and they're coming back up once they shifted that zone, and then they're going to complete level 3 tonight. All right, moving on to GA. So GA on the daytime frame, TDI was outside of the Bollinger Band. They just came back inside. This is not really a good peak formation. There's a lot of short pushes up to the top, so they were working on inducing traders short or inducing traders long up here. They're getting ready to snatch the market, right? A lot of traders thinking they're going to take them to the bank, right? You can see it's not really a trend here like this. That's a strong trend. Long trend is really just consolidation. You can see TDI reflects that. A lot of sideways movement. They're coming back up now to retest this level right here. So I'll go ahead and insert that box. That's our reversal zone. So on the 4-hour time frame, they've issued us a star, right? TDI has hit that bottom Bollinger Band. Once they come back up and retest, then we will take them short, right? But we're going to let them run their course as of right now. On the 1-hour time frame, you see a lot clearer. They giving us first leg, pinning the 50 EMA now, right? But there's still some space in between the TDI and the market baseline and even the mid-level line. So they could continue up, right, and then close back down, pinning this 50, giving us second leg, and then coming back up into that reversal zone. So that's what I'm expecting them to do tonight. And then that's probably going to be a couple days of rise before we see a short pattern giving us first and second leg before dropping. All right, moving on to AJ. On AJ, they have come down to the 50 EMA here. TDI is at that bottom Bollinger Band, right? So they've run their course, looking for them to come back up into that, not all the way into the reversal zone, but at least to the 50 EMA, all right? There'll be completion of level, and then they'll continue their drop. TDI is already at the market baseline, and it's not far from that top Bollinger Band here. So that 50 is basically where I expect them to stop, right? They might railroad track. They might send a long wick up here before continuing down. But essentially a lot of consolidation. Is not a real strong shift from this second leg right here. They consolidated last week and then came back up and hit the same level. They did one shift and then moved sideways, trying to see where the money is, whether they should continue long or short. So they're coming back up to induce traders long, right, and then dropping, but they're not going to come way back up here. Up coming here it won't really do too much because it's consolidation. They haven't really shifted away, so there's no trap volume here. There probably is a little bit, but not enough to hurt their pockets. But this is where the trap volume is. They already took these guys out, so this is where the volume is. They're not going to come back up to this level here. I doubt it. All right, moving on to AU. AU we're not going to touch because of how long they've been consolidating on that 50 EMA, right? A lot of sideways movement for over 3 weeks. Only way we will consider trading this again is if they come back up to the top here. The top right here. They're not going to come way back up here, because again, that's where the trap volume is. So if they come here about this area, then, or about this zone, this price, then we'll consider trading it again. But as of right now, my directional bias is iffy on that. All right, moving on to UC. As always, I mentioned we've been following this pair for a very long time. Price action is at its low, retesting this sun right here. TDI is on its way back down to the low level line. This is what we like to see. We got 1, 2, working on its third hit to the low, right? So the reversal is imminent. TDI is at that market baseline now. This is what we like to see. And right below that mid-level line, we almost have bias Bollinger Bands. Once it comes down, if it does continue to come down and retest this, then that Bollinger Band will come below that mid-level line, giving us bias Bollingers, which is an even better confirmation. Right, so we'll drop down to the 1 hour. Again, there was that second leg. Here's that third. So if this low holds tonight, then the reversal is definitely going to happen during London. All right, so they'll come back up probably to the 50 or even this 13. It's already pinned to 13. They'll come back up, come down again during London, and then take off. You see TDI is already towards that bottom Bollinger Band. And again, we almost have biased Bollingers on even the 1 hour time frame. So UC might finally pay out. All right, moving on to EN. So they've given us 1, 2, 3, 4 long wicks to the high. Right below that 800 EMA, TDI hit that top Bollinger Band, and it crossed over that red EMA. It's not quite at the market baseline, but who's to say they don't come back up and basically retest or give us another wick. We'll see on the 4 hour time frame. There it is. On the 4 hour time frame, they hit the 50. So yes, they are definitely going to come back up, and I wouldn't necessarily say retest that high, but it'll be a completion of the level. And once they do that, this will give us a AFP setup, right? So we'll drop down to the 1 hour time frame. So here's our peak formation, right? They've completed one level. They're going to come up about the 50 EMA, right? Going into that reversal zone, give us a M, and then shift away from this peak. So that's what we call an away from peak setup. All right. Moving on to NU. This one we're not going to trade. It's similar to AU until they come back up to that point right here. Right, it's a lot of consolidation on that 50 EMA. It's a lot of pairs already, so I'm going to go over GU. This is going to be our last one for the night. All right, they've given us peak formation, right? 2 hits. Issued us a moon. TDI is on its way back up to the top Bollinger Band. This is what we like to see. You can see they hit that 50 EMA on the 4 hour on their way back up now. So I'll go ahead and insert that rectangle here. This is our reversal zone. Right, anywhere in here they could reverse. You see TDI is on its way or right below that market baseline. So we're gonna let it run its course tonight and see how much further it rises. But the directional bias is short on that. All right, any questions? I know that was a lot. All right, if you have any questions, hit us up in the group chat or send us a direct message.